finishing off America. That's the focus of tonight's Angle. Now, we thought we'd reach across the aisle tonight and try our hand at jazzing up Biden's 2024 pitch to the voters. Now, first I was thinking, the man needs a campaign theme song, doesn't he? One that reflects the energy that he brings to the job every day.
I don't need your rocking chair, your Geritol or your Medicare. Well, I still got neon in my veins. This gray hair don't mean a thing.
No, not at all. All right, second, President Biden needs a message that promotes his stellar commitment to growth and prosperity.
The reason I'm running again is there's a job to finish.
The U.S. gross domestic product slowed to a 1.1% annual rate in the first quarter. Economists had been expecting a growth of 2%.
Morgan Stanley expects GDP to contract by 0.4% in Q2.
Look, there's more to finish the job.
Inflation is still too high here, and you've got interest rates that have been going up for a year now. A decrease in inventory builds and inventory investments. That's businesses cautious and pulling back.
We have to finish the job, nail it down.
Nail what down? Middle-class workers? Because under Biden, they feel like they're being crucified. If things do not improve, the old Biden voters are going to have a real decision to make. It's not that easy, is it, in the end, to vote for decline, to vote against your own economic interests? Well, late tonight, even the folks over at Politico couldn't help but state the obvious. Writing, unfortunately for Biden, it's very much not morning in America, at least from an economic perspective. It's more like late afternoon with the sunset. Well, I'll say, especially since real wages aren't keeping pace with the obscene cost of living. And workers, they're losing hope as fast as the White House is losing credibility.
The president believes that he needs to continuing deliver to deliver for the American people. You hear us talk about his economic policy, how that has enabled him to build an economy from the bottom up, middle out. We are going to do the job and finishing up the agenda that he laid out in 2020.
Bottom up, hollowed out. Well, their agenda that she's referencing can be summed up in the acronym SPD: scarcity, poverty, and depravity. Learn to live with less, travel less, expect less. Lower the bar for everyone, including the administration, because they speak to us as if we're deaf, dumb, and blind, like we don't actually experience the misery that their policies have created across the board.
Our country is back on track. Our children are back in school. People are working. The economy is humming along. Infrastructure is being built. Broadband is being delivered. We have rescued this economy. Our veterans are now back being taken care of. Joe Biden has put us to where we need to be, and I think we need to keep it going.
Keep it going where? Toward the cliff's edge? By the way, did he say the kids are back in school? It's like 3 years after the pandemic was declared, my friend. Now, they're not finishing the job here. They're finishing us off by demoralizing millions of Americans who don't want special handouts. They don't want special pronouns. And they're even punishing those who work hard and play by the rules. Now, the left has always, when I was thinking about this today, they've always been threatened by American exceptionalism, where everyone is held to high standards. They don't like that. And now the Democrats have jumped on board, fully on board, the victim train, where hard work and talent often go unrecognized and unrewarded. And if you don't have the right skin color, the right ethnicity, or political ideology, forget about it. So their idea of finishing the job means creating a world where your carbon footprint will be measured and your social media presence scrutinized for dangerous misinformation.
Enhance critical thinking and media literacy as a mechanism to strengthen resilience to misinformation and disinformation.
We're also working to counter disinformation.
And disinformation can lead some individuals to violence.
Or to voting against you. Now, they certainly can't campaign on these things. This is just ridiculous. We all know that. Who would vote for this? Instead, it's all happy talk in the face of depressing economic news. It's weekend at Biden's playing on a continuous loop.
The president is just an amazing leader and has an incredible economic vision and agenda. And that is a vision to rebuild our economy so that everybody's included and nobody's left behind. It's just unbelievable what we are accomplishing under the president's leadership. The facts speak for themselves.
You see how she was reading the screen when she was speaking? I mean, did she really act like she believes that? Well, Politico is noting that the economy is unwell with recession, worries building across the financial industry, and overwhelmingly the consensus is that the economy will struggle this year, with more than a dozen big banks in recent weeks forecasting little or no growth. Now remember, the Mensa members in Biden's financial team, they waved off recession concerns as they were blowing trillions of dollars and are now shoveling hundreds of billions out the door to Ukraine. Now, Fed Chair Jerome Powell is so lame, newly released video shows that he was punked by a few Russian pranksters who called Powell pretending to be Zelensky. And Powell, talking on the phone to them, told them that most forecasts call for the U.S. economy to grow, but at a pretty subdued level. So growth of less than 1%, let's say, we would tell you that a recession is almost as likely as very slow growth. Well, I'm glad he's honest with a fake Zelensky. So here comes the Biden recession. He knows it, and we know it. And to think that it was just 5 years ago when under Trump, America was on a roll.
I'm thrilled to announce that in the second quarter of this year, the United States economy grew at the amazing rate of 4.1%. And America is winning again because we are finally putting America first. Everywhere we look, we are seeing the effects of the American economic miracle.
But today, American citizens see that Biden's team isn't focused on raising their standard of living. Instead, the Biden team is focused on remaking the country, where illegal immigrant dreamers are valued over native-born Americans. Imagine if American workers saw their incomes double in the past 3 years. So the economic debate between the two parties, it's largely over. We know that Biden's policies are going to fail and keep failing. And we know that the policies of Trump and of DeSantis, they work. They grow jobs. They increase wages. They make home ownership more, not less desirable. But the opposite is happening under Biden. No wonder the Biden White House would rather talk about anything, and I mean anything, other than the economy. Heck, Biden even gets stumped by kids these days.
Do you watch the Stanley Cup playoffs, and if you do you have a favorite team?
I did and I do. The Philadelphia Flyers.
Whoops. The Flyers didn't come close to making the playoffs, Joe, but expect a lot more of these frivolous, fluffy little events from now until Election Day. Now, by contrast, Trump hit the economic nightmare hard today in New Hampshire with real solutions about how to start turning things around.
Under the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act, companies, factories, and jobs will come roaring back into our country, and massive deficits that we've been paying for decades and it's going to disappear. I will also revoke China's most favored nation trade status. I will gain total independence from China.
Oh, music to my ears. Now, states like Texas, Florida, South Dakota, Tennessee, they were run by smart Republican governors. They voted for Trump because they knew that Biden would do just what he's done, wreck the economy, fling open the border, push radical social policy, and leave a huge opening for China. It's all happened. The outcome of 2024 in that election is going to depend largely on how many of those suburban women, how many of those independents who supported Biden last time, how many of those hate Republicans so much that they will choose more economic pain over a return to prosperity and common sense. My friends, let's not finish off America. Let's finish off socialism and stupidity. And that's The Angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.